I have the other ones available in there. But
what? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I need a bow after that. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Ojo! I learned my lesson from last night. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm here to give you a favor, James. I just say no ukulele.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our drawstrings, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Oh, man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Yes! Woohoo! Yes, guys, it is Sunday. It is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink With Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns. Because frankly, I'm bored with the mainstream. Mainstream comics suck, and indie is where the passion is, guys. So yes, thank you all for being here today. I skipped last minute. My guests bailed out, and I wasn't feeling too well. I needed the little break, so I skipped that once. But we're back this week and the upcoming week. So every Sunday, guys. So tune in. So yeah, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. My weekend is fine. It's pretty good. I noticed that StreamYard changed their rates there, so I'm broadcasting using StreamYard right now. They told me that the quality is better. So do you guys notice? I don't know. Do you guys see that the quality now is better? But they almost doubled their price also, which is nuts. I never asked for that. So I think I need to think about a different service to get the same results. So if any of you have some experience with some alternative to StreamYard, let me know, and I will go check that out. I need to find something else. I can't afford this. I'm just a small indie creator, guys. Even the regular rate was pretty much, but we need to do this. We need to like do YouTube to interact with you guys, to update you guys, to talk about the comic books, right? So I really want to continue with the YouTube channel, but StreamYard, I need to find something else. And a little bit of other news that I had. I posted something today also about. So we are working on Perfect 10 Book 5. So thank you all for backing, by the way. The link to the campaigns are in the description of this video. But yeah, so we're still working on it. But Pow, the artist, he had some personal things going on. So he had some downtime. He needed some downtime, and so he couldn't work for a few weeks. So we got a little behind schedule. But Pow is now drawing again, and instead of him inking like he usually does, we brought on inker Thiago Gomez, and Thiago is a very good inker. He also inks like Allan Goldman's work, so you know it is quality, right? And you will barely see the difference. I don't think most people will even notice, right? But it's really cool to have Thiago on board for the creative team for this book. And if things go well, he can stay on and we can speed up production of the comics. Wow, that was my intro, guys. Did you like it? Did you like my intro? Let's see who's in the chat with us. Gorilla Mar. Welcome, Gorilla Mar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today? What's up, guys? Guys, subscribe to Gorilla Mar's YouTube channel. He does like reviews of indie comics that he backs. Really, really cool. Mike is also here. Hello, Mike. All the way from Canada. Good day and cheers to you, Dave and guest. It's still hot and dry, plus 30 degrees first week of September over here. Really? Oh, no, it's not that warm here. It's not that warm. So I hope you can still manage, Mike. And all right, so share this out, guys. Let's bring in some more people in the chat to because we have a brand new guest to the show. Has never been on the show before, which is cool. So I can introduce you to new people and new people to you, right? So let's do this, guys. Let's bring them on. Let's see if I have everything set up. I think that I do. I do. So may I have a very warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. Brandon Starocci. Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Brandon.
Made me feel good with the round of applause and all that, too.
Yes, that's what you get, man. That's what you get. How are you, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good right here. You?
Yeah.
So you had like a fine weekend so far?
A fine weekend so far, yes. So, right, let me start the ticker. I'm in a little ticker, so when a new guest is here, I have a little ticker. Where is it? Where is it, damn it? Oh, here it is. Show, there we go. All professional, all superb. Brandon, right. Brandon, before we talk about anything, wait, you have applause from Gorilla Mar right here. And he says, thanks, Dave. Currently working on another couple of quick reviews. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. Looking forward to watching them. Brandon, before we talk about anything, I need to ask you the question that I need to ask all my guests is, what are you drinking?
Unfortunately, just right now, just water.
Water?
I wish it was a little bit more sophisticated. You know, I'm a bit of a whiskey drinker myself, so it might have been a little bit. Yeah, it might have been a little bit too early here. Yeah. At least for today, it might have been a little early, but yeah.
All right. Nothing wrong with water. Jens, we're having water today.
Yep. Let's keep it clean. Just water.
Right. Thank you, Jens. Thank you so much. Whew. All right, Brandon. We never really met before, right?
No, I don't believe so. I have I kind of seen your stuff on social media and stuff. Started to get to know you a little bit more just through social media alone, and obviously reached out, and here we are, and now I get to formally kind of be on your show and formally meet you as well. So it's kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, awesome. So you make comic books. That's weird to talk about a comic book campaign, right?
Yeah.
So how did that start for you? What is your history with comics?
It's not a pretty extensive one. I wasn't really a comic person kind of growing up, unfortunately. But I had this idea, Avalon before it was called Avalon. I'm seeing that now. My choice of whiskey is Maker's Mark. Usually, that's pretty much my go-to, Maker's Mark. But
Right. Like a
I,
connoisseur.
I had this idea of Avalon before it was actually, where it is today with Avalon. When I was a senior in high school, it was supposed to be a movie, but I didn't know what to do with it. I was young. I didn't know anything, didn't know anybody in the industry. So I kind of packed it away, met Alan Dingfelder many years later. We were talking about this idea again, and then it was going to be a novel, but I don't like reading novels or books too much. I would rather see pictures on page.
Yeah.
I kind of saw a comic book on my desk, and I asked Alan then, I was like, should we just do a comic book? And he loved the idea. So then that was really it. And then, the history from that point on with comic books, I started to gain more of a love and desire to actually read comics and get into comics more so indie. I've always kind of read The Walking Dead and the different kind of Batman kind of series, but ever since I started this comic, Avalon, is when I really started to appreciate, independent comics and all the work that goes into it as well. So the love kind of started after we started our comic book.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So you basically thought about your concept being a comic book once there was a comic on your desk, you said?
Yeah, so we were trying to figure out how we wanted to tell this story, and like I said, we were leaning towards a book, but I didn't want to. I don't really care for reading that much. So then, seeing a comic book on the desk, I shot it Alan's way and was like, "Why don't we just try this instead? We can kind of get the same. It's almost like a movie on paper, essentially. You could do things to make it look, cool and appeasing to the eye, and that's kind of we both agreed on and just took it from there.
But you weren't really familiar with comics before that, right?
Not really at all. Like I said, the only real titles I read, the only real title I read was The Walking Dead. But then I read some Batman comics as well, but there's no specific titles, or series that I was reading for Batman. It's just like kind of whatever I can get my hands on. But nothing very familiar with comics beforehand.
Right. Do you remember which comic was on your desk?
It was Walking Dead one. I don't remember exactly what issue or whatever, but it was it was a Walking Dead one. It might have actually been when they were doing like a relaunch of issue 1, like the 50,000 issue 1 reprints, so it might have actually been one of those for sure. But yeah,
it's a good series, right? Did you completely finish it?
No, not. I know what happens, but I didn't get to the end. I kind of stopped. Work kind of got crazy, and then I started really doing this. And then it kind of just got put on the back burner. And I do want to read it. Like I said, I know what happens at the end of it. I just never finished it. And I actually kind of want to buckle up and finish that.
Did you also follow the television series?
Yeah, that's actually what made me look into the Walking Dead comics, because I didn't know beforehand. I've always kind of heard people talk about like, oh, it's a comic. But then by season 3 is when I really was like, I'm going to check this comic book out. And I think at that point, they're past Negan in the comics. So I think it was like after 100 by season 3. So quite a bit, it was quite a bit late there. And then, like I said, I love the show. I was a big fan of the show growing up. I could say, I guess growing up, because it's been 11 years, 10 years, 12 years. But yeah.
That's interesting. You have like comics are pretty niche, right? And then you have sometimes comics get some sort of popularity, underground popularity, and then they go towards like the series status. So they make a series or sometimes a movie or whatever. And some people think that's good because this creates more comic book readers. But I wonder if that's actually true. Because people who like watch series don't necessarily go out to find out source material, right?
Yeah. I guess based off my own experience, I would say it kind of works, because like I said, like just being a fan of the show and not really knowing, and that's when I kind of like went, towards The Walking Dead. I don't know if it solidifies comic book readers like in general, but it's not like at that time I kind of picked up other projects. I was really, Walking Dead show, and then I kind of moved towards the comic book, and I didn't really expand it until after I started, with Avalon and really doing all that stuff. That's when I really expanded my interest for other kind of projects, other titles, and independent comics and all that good stuff.
Great. You said you were doing this with someone else, right? That's your artist, or who's that?
So issues 1 through 6, Allan and I we did like we did the writing together.
Okay.
Dimitris Nastos is the artist. Everything you see visually for Avalon right now has all been Dimitris, which he's kind of grown and done so much great things, art wise for us. And it's such a cool kind of thing right now. But yeah, we've had members in the writing room. We've had editors as well, just to kind of make sure that this story can be live up to its potential.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you wanted to do this story together. So it's now, I think it's 6 issues, right? Right now.
Yeah.
Is this the final issue, or will there be more?
There'll be more. This will be the final issue of season 1. So we're breaking it up in seasons. I know there's there's arcs or volumes that people call it, but it's easier for our brains to kind of comprehend the season kind of mark there. So this will be the wrap of season 1. We're pretty excited because there's been a lot of questions leading up to issue 6. We answer a lot of those questions, and then also we make more questions leading into season 2.
Right. Okay, great. Gorilla Mar knows it. He says Avalon has been a good series so far, and I backed issue 6 on the first day.
Thank you very much for that, Beck. I've actually seen his off the cuff, I think is what he calls the series.
Oh,
he did a little bit. I think he did all 5 of them now. So it's been kind of like a really cool thing of seeing like a few minute conversation about what people's thoughts are and all that stuff too. We really like to hear people's feedback.
Yeah, it's really cool when people talk about these comics, right? Basically, they are the lifeblood of this little industry. When no one talks about it, then it's pretty crucial that like word of mouth, right? We don't have like the marketing budgets, so other people like talking about these books. That matters.
That's exactly it though too. And just like I've told many people that I even kind of conversate with, I'm like, I understand if you can't pledge for a reward, but a like and share is free, and it goes, it does just as much. And it's always, I always kind of applaud our backers and supporters that we've had for the last couple of years here as well, because again, we wouldn't be here today. I've always kind of mentioned that without all of them as well, with the likes and shares, just discussing it, being on other people's shows, especially Erie as well. I'll shout Erie out as well, where we're from. They've kind of really helped us out and, kind of gave us like an uplifting as well, an Erie based comic, and they're really supportive of us.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Eastlyn, by the way. Welcome. Easton says comics made by persons who do not love comics but see it as a step to get a movie deal might accidentally make a good comic. But this is not labor of love by someone who loves the medium. Right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good thing too. I could definitely see anybody who is just passionate about any kind of project they're on, they're going to make it good, I believe. Even, again, I can't, I love comics now, but when we were kind of both into it in the beginning, I can't say that, but it was really just the passion and the love for the project and, more so the characters too. And we kind of developed the characters over time. It's, at this point, I consider this, one of my babies, so I'm going to do everything I can to make this the best, it can be.
Yeah. And this basically, you said that you created this concept a long time ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, you get it in comic book form. That's phenomenal.
100%, yeah. It's definitely been a long time coming.
Easily like the first seasons of The Walking Dead. Right? Yeah.
I like them all, but there are some bad ones too. I'll admit.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Eastling. Perfect is excellent. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. Let's bring up your campaign. See what we're talking about. I think it makes talking about it a little bit easier so people can see what the deal is here, because we're talking about a fantastic new comic. It's not really, it's new to me. I have to say it's new to me. For many people, sometimes you have like I've been working in comics now for 10 years, so it's still, I still need to remind myself that every day I'm new to new people, right? And my comics also, I have to talk about these comics constantly, even series that have been going on for 5 years.
It's definitely a funny thing that you say that too, because that was what Allan told me. Because again, I was inexperienced, I had no clue how to do any of this, but he's told me that up until this day, honestly, that that was I was very impatient, very eager when I was kind of getting this out, and it felt very redundant, kind of re-explaining everything. But now I know, like, exactly how you said it. You're always going to be new. Your comic's always going to be new to somebody, no matter how long it's been out. You kind of always have to explain it and let people know what it is. It might sound redundant. It might sound like, you've been repeating yourself for years. I mean, literally have been, but it's definitely necessary because there's a lot of people in the world and a lot of people haven't seen it.
Absolutely. Plus, if you do a good job and people like your series, you have a larger back catalog. So new people come in, they can get more books, right? So you're slowly growing your audience this way.
Yeah.
Right. You have 28 days to go. Does this mean you launched 2 days ago? Something?
Yes. We launched Friday evening. I think it's 7:00 is what we did. We did a live launch for it as well. But yeah, a couple days ago.
All right. Okay. This on this really weird like system, like euros. So let me put that to your thing. Where is it? Here it is. US dollars. Continue. There we go. Oh wow! And suddenly you're over 1K. Excellent.
That's the way we like it, huh? Dollar bills.
1K. That's pretty good for your first 2 days. 28 days to go. You have a somewhat bigger goal, but you will get there with ease.
Yeah, that's obviously the hope. We've kind of had a lot of people waiting around. It's funny because when we were about to launch it at 7:00, I told people probably about 7:05, and we started the live stream with Lori Calcaterra, and we were on there talking. I was like, okay, I got a bunch of people text me ready to go, and let me know they're ready and messaging me on social media. But so then we did it. We're actually very surprised and very thankful as well to kind of be here at this point. It's an awesome feeling to be over 80%, and to kind of finish it and keep moving, and all the stretch goals that we have later on as well. So we're pretty excited.
Really cool. 35 backers right now. Guys, it would be great if you got like 35 backers during this stream. So if it's something you like, go check out the campaign, see if there's something that's worth your while. Shall we watch the trailer?
You can if you want. It's kind of a, it's a 3-minute long video, and like a minute of it is like just kind of thanking people and talking about our other social media. So it's up to you. Like I said, it's kind of extensive.
Well, it's basically up to you. It is your show, so we can
probably move past
talk about the campaign.
Yeah, we could probably do that. I mean, it kind of just brushes over what we're kind of showing anyway, so we'll be talking about it regardless. I didn't do anything crazy in it.
All right.
I not this time around, at least the last time was a little bit better, but yeah.
All righty. Well, here's something that I always like to ask people, right? So I see your logo, 1282. Is that your brand or something?
So 1282 is our production label that we're kind of uplifting with Avalon as well. When Allan and I first kind of got together and we were figuring out what we wanted to do, the first steps of this was, okay, we want to be almost our own bosses. We don't want anybody telling us what we can and can't do with our projects. He was in the entertainment industry before we met, so he kind of and he knows a little bit of that. So he wanted to do a deal amongst ourselves and us be the bosses of what we're supposed to be doing. So 1282 is like our production, our label, publisher right now. We're our own publisher, and we're uplifting that with Avalon right now. So Avalon is the first project under 1282.
Right. And what does it stand for, 1282?
It's funny because I've only told us a few times. So 1282, it was the hourly rate we were making when we were first talking about doing this. So we're making $12.82 only. It was a struggle time for us as well. So I was like, okay, well, and it just flows off the tongue. It sounds really cool. It's a fun thing to say. So we were like, why don't we just call it that? And immediately for both of us, it stuck with us. We're like, okay, that's it. So it's kind of like a cheesy kind of deal, but it reminds us, keeps us humble.
Yeah, that's a fun backstory. The final chapter. Welcome to Avalon. Well, this is something you're going to tell us. I think we're having a lot of. So these are all 6 issues, right?
So those will be all the standard covers. We have variants also as well, but these are all the standard covers, all done by Demetrius. The last one obviously would be the bottom right, the green one with the green background. Is a lot of detail. Obviously, when we go down a little bit further, you'll be able to see a lot more detail with it. But a lot of cool things he's capable of doing, Demetrius. He definitely is executing very well.
And all these first covers are still available.
Yeah, so the first covers will always be available. So when we do variants as well, that we'll see a little bit later on, we only sell them on our Kickstarters and at live events that we're present at. We're never going to sell them online after the Kickstarters. So that's just it. So when you see variants from us at all, it's always going to be on the Kickstarter or at a live event, unless spoken about otherwise. But that's what we've done the whole time. And that's what we plan on doing going forward as well.
Right. Easton says, passion, but skilled craftsmen do a good job too sometimes.
I believe in passion, yeah.
So I think before we we can look at the pretty pictures, but I think we would like to know what actually is Avalon. What's the concept here?
Yeah, of course. So Avalon is a post-apocalyptic zombie story. You follow the Castle family as a whole. You got to go through their nightmarish journey for everlasting safety. As the infection is kind of uprising, like I said, you're following this whole family. A couple things that we do a little differently with Avalon is instead of following one main protagonist's hero journey, we're following the whole family. The whole family is the main protagonist. We give all the family members a lot of diversity and a lot of depth to kind of feel like their own main character, and if they have their own story to be told. And 2 things that we really focus on as well is mental health and physical health issues that people deal with on a day-to-day basis, and we kind of apply that into the zombie apocalypse. It begs the question for people who have like anxieties and depressions and PTSDs, and people who deal with like diabetes, cancers, sicknesses, illnesses, and things along that nature as well. So we're really going to be intertwining that with the story moving forward with this group of family members. And actually what we kind of show that right here with the image that you have up right now. The youngest brother there, Mason, we show a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of tension. And then he also has a physical issue he has asthma. So he's taking a puff of his inhaler as well during chaos and etc. So we're going to be showing a lot of that stuff as well.
Right. Does this series start with how this thing begins? Or do you just get thrown in there?
You kind of get thrown in there, and the approach that we're going to be taking with this as well is you're going to know as much as the family knows. We're not going to be telling you any outside or exterior kind of no, we're not giving you any knowledge outside of the family. So everything the family discovers, you're going to discover as the reader as well. So that's going to be the approach moving forward.
All right. And this comic is black and white with red tones.
Yes, so we have the black and white and the blood, and then what we do for the end of every single issue is the splash of color. We're going to be signifying the wow moment at the end of each issue there, and kind of letting the reader kind of really kind of take in what's going on at the last page of every single issue as well. But the way Demetrius does the grayscales, the idea was to have the black, white, and blood. The idea was cool, but the fact that he's able to execute it the way he is, it just makes it so much better to have that.
Right. So artist does also the coloring.
Yes. He does it all. Yep.
Okay. And here we have one of these colored pages. And you said these are like every book has some in the back.
Yeah,
right?
It'll have a colored page in the back. It'll be the last page of every issue, the colored page, to really kind of again signify that wow moment, that oh crap moment at the end.
Right. So is this the last page of issue 6?
That'll be the last page of issue 1. We just kind of showed you a couple brief there. Yeah, we'll get towards the bottom there. We'll show some issue 6 stuff as well.
Right. Okay, that's That's scary stuff. So yeah, so you try to set yourself apart from other like zombie series through the way you tell the story, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's really again harping on the family's dysfunctionality, number one, and number two is the mental health and the physical health. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the genre. Okay, so and I've seen things that has shown things like what I'm talking about, but never execute it and keep it present. And so it always like that frustrated me. But I always wanted to see something like this where it's like, okay, there's people that I know that have, setbacks and illnesses or dealing with physical issues. Well, how would they kind of pan out? And, how would people like that kind of pan out? And people, again, with the mental, health problems as well, like people who take medications every day, what happens to them? All those things. And again, and stories I've watched in the past as well, it shows it's there, but it's real quick and it kind of gets faded away and you follow your hero again. These are the people that we're going to be following, the people that have daily issues, because it's more common than not that people have to take medication nowadays. So it's just, how does that affect people in this kind of world where you can't get it anymore? You have to, there's different ways of doing it.
So when you talk about it like this, right? So you have zombies, you have like people with like other problems. These things get combined even, and how do you keep so the story I can imagine is a bit somber, right? So is there some hope there? Are there like light moments? How do you handle that?
So so when you read the first actually couple issues here, the Andy and Miller, which are the two police officers as well, there's definitely some light moments in there as well, because obviously when you have a story that's so dark and almost seems very depressing as well, it's not it doesn't always make for a good longevity read, I guess. Something, reading something like that could actually, could feel real, it could feel raw, but I also believe that doesn't have a lot of longevity. So when you have characters that do show some light, that is very important. Right there, the one on the right there, Miller, he brings a lot of light into his scenes. So whenever he's in the scenes coming up, there's a lot of light that comes with him. And there's other characters that we showcase as well that bring light to the scenes, bring some, I'm not, when I say comedic, I don't mean like true comedy. I mean like just like some comedic kind of elements to it, because even when people say things, funny things as well, it's just like it could be a quick chuckle and then you're fine. So it's just like things of that nature. And I do think that's also very important to make sure that happens when we are kind of telling a very dark story as well, that those things do need to be present, because the world can be very dark and raw sometimes too. So it's really, but also the world needs that light and that, makes you feel good, and all that stuff too. So that's definitely in this as well.
Exactly. It's really something that you can tell through the characters, right? So you need like good characters and characters that are like resilient also, that find their own ways to cope with this situation. And sometimes that is humor, but it's also like staying hopeful, right? Helping other people.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, yeah, these covers are, so I bet you get this a lot, right? But the artist seems to be inspired by Todd McFarlane also a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny because he formally said it in an interview when we did our launch, actually, for this time. For the first time, he came on an interview because he's from Greece, so obviously the time zones are a lot different, and it makes it difficult to kind of do like interviews and all that stuff too. So he said it formally for the first time. He does take a lot of inspiration from Todd McFarlane. I mean, obviously you can tell. And I just think it's awesome to see it, and it's his own twist, and it brings a cool, unique look to this kind of genre too. Because personally, since I kind of really started getting into comics, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not out there, but I personally haven't found anything like it. So to have Demetrius part of this journey too, and kind of allow us to look a little bit separate from others is a pretty cool thing.
Right. How did you find your artist?
It was just long searches on Instagram, and hashtags like comic book artists, and really finding art pages or posts that people have done, and finding something that kind of stuck with us. And then we ended up finding him and reaching out to him, and he really was excited from the get-go, which was awesome to kind of see. I kind of gave him the pitch of what we're doing. He liked the pitch. He gave us a concept page, and then we all kind of just were like, let's do this. And here we are today.
Right. Yeah. You need to find the artist also with a specific style that works for your comic, right?
Yeah.
So if you compare this to, for instance, The Walking Dead, I think people can make comparisons because thematically they're a bit similar, right?
Yeah.
But this looks more cartoony. Does this help you when you tell the story in some way?
I believe so, especially now, because with the first couple issues that we've seen so far, the first 6 issues, they've been written before he's kind of taken on this new style, because issue 1 is a little bit different. Issue 1 has that more realistic kind of look compared to this. He kind of evolved to this style after issue 1, and that's kind of when he took the style on. And immediately when he sent it to me, I loved it. So that's what we kind of rolled with, obviously. But I think it definitely fits a lot better for what we're trying to do. And like you just mentioned, it allows that separation to be present. I don't want to be another Walking Dead. I don't want to be another zombie project that people have seen. I want to be Avalon. So, this the artwork alone, I think, speaks that. And then over time, you'll be able to tell from our storytelling and from our issues and understanding the story that we are different as well. It kind of sounds cliche when you're saying a lot of things like, okay, we're a zombie story, we're doing this, we're doing that, but the proof's in the pudding kind of deal. So, people who actually read it and kind of watch the art and kind of watch the story progress, you can kind of tell there are some differences as well. So I guess it's putting like your money where your mouth is kind of deal. We're letting the project itself do the talking. Because when I just say it half the time, it just sounds like redundant. Like, okay, we're different. You know what I mean? So it's just like trying to find the perfect words and trying to find the perfect way to explain it.
Yeah, of course. Right. This is issue 4.
Yeah.
The main cover, really nice, really artistic with these. Like you have here, like his reflection. It's one person instead of 3, and he's backwards also, so that signifies something.
Yeah, 100%, and that's actually because this is actually his idea. This cover he had was his idea, an amazing idea. It was, he kind of shot it. He's like, hey, I got some cool kind of concepts that I'm working on for when we're doing the issue 4 cover and all that stuff. There's a lot of symbolism in this cover and foreshadowing for what's coming into this issue as well. And it's such a cool cover when what happens as well in issue 4. Seeing this cover, it's just like, oh wow, okay, you can see what you're kind of getting at, and having Andy, which is the oldest brother, walking away in the blood, and then having the other family members walking straight towards the reader as well. It's a lot of symbolism, and obviously with the crow as well. So when you see it, you can kind of like break it down a bit, but the how factor, you'll have to read it.
Really cool.
Yeah,
really cool. So what is your process when you write? You write it together with Allan, you said, right? So
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So how do you work together on this story? How do you break down the story into panels, for instance?
So it's kind of changed and evolved over the time, of learning all of this stuff too. Because like I said, I didn't know how to do all this stuff. So it was kind of trial and error for a little while with me and Allan. After we started getting it down pat, Allan helped me from issues 1 to 6. He took a hiatus from just Avalon, and he's working behind closed doors on 1282 aspect of things, because the production, we want to do other things. We don't want to do movies, short films, and etc. But that's another conversation. So I have Bill Dalton, which is helping me now for season 2. Another buddy of mine, I've known him for years, and he's into kind of entertainment and creating, and so he'll be helping with season 2 and so on if he wants to. But the process has evolved. We knew what we wanted from the first season, the first 6 issues, so we kind of sketched that down, and then we started just breaking it down panel, top to bottom. And then now the process is basically figure out everything we want for the season, big points and little points, and kind of slowly kind of mash them together. And then as we're doing the panel layouts, we put the dialogue in, and obviously the dialogue is subject to change when the art comes out as well, because sometimes it doesn't, it needs to flow a little bit better half the time. So that's kind of like the process we're doing now too, is a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for, like, I can't even think of the word. My brain just went numb. But like, it's a little more structured is the word I was looking for there too, with what we're doing with season 2 and so on. And again, I think that was simply just because the trial and error, just kind of learning the process and what works best for us. I think we found that finally.
Right. It says here, Glastonbury University. Glastonbury, is that a real place, or is that fictional?
So it's kind of like an Easter egg-ish thing for real life. Like, so this certificate here is a real life thing, but the name of the real life thing, we did some research on it, and it's kind of like a Easter egg, kind of changing the name version. I don't know how else to explain that, but yes, it kind of is, but not exactly, if that makes sense. So it's kind of filling the void by doing a little bit of research, because I'm a huge Easter egg person. I like hiding things in plain sight. I like kind of having things kind of always shown but not told. So that's one of those deals as well. A lot of this cover, this is my favorite cover. There's a lot of Easter egg things in this cover here as well. It's a very exciting color. It's a very intense, dramatic cover as well. So a lot of hidden detail in it too.
Yeah, even the way the layout is done, it's very, very McFarlane-esque.
Yeah, definitely an awesome cover.
It's pretty gruesome here. So you had this story concept for years, right? And then you began to write it. Did a lot of it change when you eventually moved into the actual writing phase?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot that actually really changed. The only kind of aspect that kind of stuck with the whole process since I had it when I was a kid was the 3 brothers. Because again, I have 2 brothers myself, so that was really, again, I asked myself the question, how would I personally survive in the zombie apocalypse? And that kind of expanded off into my family. So the family was always kind of taken after mine a little bit, and now to this point, the 3 brothers are still here, but it's obviously an over dramatized story as well to kind of fit what we're trying to tell here. But a lot of this is very close to me and friends, families, and loved ones as well. I wanted to kind of keep that really close while we learned the process as well, and kind of just tell that story the way it is too. But really all of it changed except for the family and like my vision for like the family overall. Everything else kind of just expanded as we were figuring everything out.
What's the input story wise of the artist? Does he think along, or does his artwork actually influence the story?
So now it definitely does, but when we were doing it, I would have the script out. I'd give him the script, in the beginning, and still now to this day, which is such an awesome thing with Demetrius. He reads it as a fan first because he loves zombies. He loves the horror genre. So he reads it as a fan first, and then he reads it as a job. But a lot of, since our relationship kind of has grown over the years now, I feel like he knows what I want before I even know it. So it's like when I send him the script, he reads the script and he's like, okay, I got the concept here. I have an idea of this whole thing. Let me send it your way. Send me some pencil sketches. And I love the layout. I love the idea. It kind of goes against not the dialogue, but like the panel layouts that I kind of structure there. But
quirky might be the word you're looking for.
It's funny because that's actually what made my, that's why I couldn't even think right. I read that comment.
Sorry about that.
So, but no, you're good. So we've kind of evolved with it in that way as well. I've established a lot of trust in his work and everything, just knowing him for years now. He does a phenomenal job in kind of showcasing what I want before I even actually want it now. You know what I mean? At this point, I let the artist be the artist, and I'll just write it. You know what I mean? Like I write the script down because, that's just the way it is. And the panel layouts now as well. But if he comes up with an idea and, just from reading things and it inspires him to do something cool, then we're putting it in there.
Absolutely. for instance, you have this new page. This is a page from issue 6, right?
Yeah, so we did the structure a little bit differently to hopefully get it out a little bit faster. So you're only seeing the inking stage right now. He's been doing a new deal where, kind of drawing through, a lot of the pages and then kind of catching up with the inking and then coloring after. So we're pretty well into this issue, but this is the inking stage. That's a couple pages here. You got one there and there's another one down below. But just to kind of signify the intenseness, the chaos that's going to be coming as well with this issue. And
whoa, cool.
But yeah,
right. By the way, in comic books, it's always full moon. Always. You seldom see something else.
Yeah.
Did you notice? It's just more spectacular, more visually.
100%, and that definitely comes, and that's happened way over time as well. It's just been like a natural, I feel like, progression with him, and he's just he's been trying new things as well and killing it every single time, and it's been such an awesome kind of journey to even watch his artwork expand alone. It's definitely been a cool deal.
So when you send him this page, for instance, does this page does the script page describe the entire event here, or is it actually broken down into each panel, telling the artist what he needs to draw?
So it's broken down in each panel, telling him what to draw, but that's very loose. When I say that, there's 3 panels on this page right now that he's kind of came up with just by reading the script. So I do write it in a fashion where it's like, okay, panel 1, panel 2, panel 2, however many panels it is. I'll give him the dialogue with it as well. And then if he reads it and he gets inspired, in doing something as well, he'll send like, hey, I got an idea for this. He'll send it my way and we'll, kind of just talk about it and move forward with it 99% of the time. It's very, very rare where I'm like, no, I can't see it that way. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're definitely, right on the same level with what we want with Avalon too. He's been along for the journey since the beginning as well. I feel like at this point it's his baby as much as it is mine. So it's just like, it's been an awesome project, and relationship built over time.
Right. Look at the cool shirts. People can get the shirt also.
Yeah, you can. We have a couple shirts to offer here. 2 of each size. We got medium, large, and XL left. Ready to offer. I think they're only for $18 a piece now.
Nice.
So just kind of get them out there, and
that red text on the black, that works really well.
Oh yeah, I mean, even like the paint, we'll be doing some more shirts in the future as well, but the ones like that as well, they come out really well. Even like the plain white ones, because we have plain white ones that we're offering too. Right. It just for some reason it just pops. I don't know. They do a good job with the shirt. The shirt company we go through.
Dimitris, and this is is Allan?
That's Allan. Yep.
Allan. All right.
He loves hot mustard from McDonald's.
Rachel, editor, and then we have another writer.
Yep, that would be Bill that I was mentioning as well for season 2. Yep, yeah, he's been along for the ride for that.
Right. The rewards. By the way, guys, the link to this campaign is in the description of this video. It's also pinned in the chat. Please go check it out. If you like zombies or horror, or maybe you're a Todd McFarlane fan and you like some art style in the same style, check it out. For just $5 you already have the digital book, which is fantastic. I think people should always offer digital versions. Sometimes people just want to support you, right, but they don't have the funds to actually pay for the shipping or whatever.
No, 100%. We always like to offer it as well, especially, the international stuff as well. It's kind of hard for us right now, being independent as well, kind of shipping internationally. Not that we're opposed to it. There's definitely been people who've reached out to me and we've figured things out too. So if you are from, outside of the United States, we figured out ways to kind of get it to you as well. So definitely reach out to us, and we're always open to getting Avalon in your hands if you want a physical copy and all that stuff.
Okay, so but this does mean that this campaign is limited to the United States.
Yeah, for like I said, it's limited to the United States. But if you are outside of the United States, just message us. We're definitely going to figure it out. There's literally been a handful of people or more that have reached out saying that they're outside of the States. Is there any way we could do this? And we've done it every single time. So it's really just trying to figure that out. Just reach out.
Excellent. So for $10, they have the physical edition.
Yep.
How many pages is this book?
It's a 24-page book. We do a 100-pound cover with the 80-pound interior, and then 24 pages. Like it'll be the 23 black, white, and blood, and then the last page will always be in color.
Did you say pounds?
Yeah, isn't that what is that? What is it? LB.
This is the first time ever that I heard it.
Yeah, what is it?
I heard anyone describing the book in pounds. Interesting. All right. Cover B coming soon. Oh, okay. You're working on.
Yep. So he's finishing up cover B as well. And if you've seen Demetrius's work in the past as well, he's going to come by and kill it. The cover Bs are always phenomenal. He finds a way to one up every single cover every single time as well. Not to take anything away from his past covers as well, because they're all phenomenal. But he's always coming through with them. And
this cover will be a little bit rare or more rare?
Yep. So the variants, as mentioned earlier too, is you can only get the variants on Kickstarter or at a live event as well. So this is one of those deals where it'll be the cover B, and we also have another one. It's called underneath that one. We're calling it cover G, which is going to be the standard cover but in gold foil. We're in conversations with the printing company as well to see how much foil there's going to be on it, but there's definitely going to be gold foil on it, and it's going to be a gold cover to kind of up the bling here for the finale here for season 1.
All right, very cool. $25. You have the digital complete story.
Yep.
Really cool. And for $40 you get physical, the catch-up tier. It's really cool. Cool to have. That's a big discount.
It definitely. I've heard from people that usually people sell them for $10 each, and we're selling 6 comics for $40. And really cool. and we're only doing limited physical catch-up tiers as well. I think those are almost sold out right now too. I think we did 9 or 10 to offer. So if you're a physical person and you want to grab that too, those are almost out.
Great. By the way, these first 6 issues, is that like one rounded off story with a potential sequel, or is it part of a bigger thing?
It's basic. So Avalon's an ongoing series. This is the first arc, the first season. So this will be the complete of it, the complete first season. So it'd be 1 to 6 is the complete first season. To kind of touch on this as well, the reason we didn't make this one like an issue 6 volume trade paperback version is because next spring we're looking at this is Demetrius's idea. He wanted to remake the art style in issue 1. Issue 1, he's kind of evolved from issue 1's art style, so he wants to remake issue 1. With that being said, we're going to be doing the issue 1 remake with the trade paperback next spring. That's the goal. So that'll be coming out next year as well. So kind of look forward for that.
Oh,
some cool
great.
Kind of awards, but right now you have all that.
And the doctor is in the house. Welcome, Dr. Rhino.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome, Mo Biggs. Welcome, sir. If you're a physical person, Als are backing books now? Als? Sorry, Mo.
Als?
Sorry. Als. You're a physical person. Welcome all. The link to this campaign is pinned in the chat. It's in the description of the video, guys. Oh, in artificial intelligence. Right. Yeah. No. Maybe they do back. Sure. $65. You get, what's this? Digital plus physical, or?
Yeah, so that's the digital catch-up tier basically, and you're getting all 3 covers. You're getting a cover print, which is we always do it in like a cardstock foil or a cardstock kind of material, and then on the bottom right there you can kind of see this will be the first time we're actually offering somebody outside of Demetrius doing the artwork. This is a local guy who does the promotional stuff for our Erie Horror Fest. It's a big, horror festival that we have in my hometown as well. But he does that. He did that cover. That's going to be an 11x17 poster cover, also kind of thrown in there. So we call that one a supply crate. You're kind of getting everything in one there.
Great. I feel a bit bad about ruining Mo's joke. So Mo doesn't come here very often. So when he comes here, I don't want to ruin his jokes. Sorry, man. So $130, you get a sketch.
Okay, so this one's an 11 by 17 pencil sketch by Demetrius. Now, this is one deal, and again, this comes with the whole package as well. You're getting the physical ketchup tiers, and all the good stuff too, the covers and the supply crate plus, basically. Now, with that being said as well, this is going to be a very rare occurrence because Demetrius is in Greece, so this isn't going to be something that we actually offer very often at all. It's a one-of-one sketch. Last campaign, we did 5 of them. This was included in one of the 5. But this is the only one that didn't sell yet. So, and again, we didn't really put it up. It's the only time we ever offered is on the Kickstarter. So it's the last one that's there for a long time. It's going to be a one-of-one. So, yep, grab it. You'll get, like I said, you'll get that and then the supply crate and then some.
So, but do you get this sketch specifically or something else?
No, here, I actually have it. Let me grab it. It's right here.
Oh, it's that's cool. Mo says you have a good track record, Dave. I won't hold it against you. Thanks, Mo. All right, so this art is done.
Yeah, so it's already done. I have it. It just because it's in a frame there, it's gonna be hard to kind of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's exactly the same picture. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just 11 by 17 kind of poster there. It's pencil sketched by Demetrius himself. And again, from Greece, he sent them all over to me last campaign. We sold 4 of them. We just have this last one here left to offer. It's kind of a cool deal. I need one for myself because I just like original prints and sketches and all that stuff too. And but it's definitely a cool deal that he did for us.
Great.
Now this one as well is again with the supply crate, but you're also getting you're getting a custom real life badge. So it's gonna be a real badge that we customize. It's not gonna be like just a metal badge at like pin. It's gonna be a realistic badge, and also an identification card that that the proof for Andy and Miller being the cops that they are, I guess. But so we're offering that as well. So it's a pretty unique deal as well, and we're really excited about that one too.
Okay, original, a bunch of add-ons. You can get it signed. You can get the digital. Throw it on there. Some prints or something.
Yeah, so that's an Andy print. It's about like an 8.5 by 11. It's a cardstock material. It's actually really cool as well. Very cheap too. I have a bunch of them here. I even have some up here myself. But it's a cool print that
really nice.
Now that right there is cover B of issue 2. As mentioned already, variants are only sold on here, and variants are only sold at live events as well. We have a few remaining here of cover B issue 2 that we're kind of putting out there for people to kind of get their hands on again, because it's been many years at this point for the last the campaign that we did issue 2 on. But so we have some left, and we're almost out of those as well.
What a cool design.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool design, given the title of that issue as well.
Yeah, Blindside, really cool. Okay, well, it's not really clear what this is.
So a Santa print, it's basically a square. I don't. It's hard to say what the size is, but it's a Santa print that we did for when we had our issue 3 Kickstarter. It was around Christmas time. We have a few of those left to kind of offer. Again, that's going to be another print there. Once they're out, they're out. And
all right,
we put them on there for people.
And then the books, you can add them on.
The poster,
Oh, it's a poster.
No, that one's the book that you're seeing. The one below it there. Yep.
Just a poster. All right.
The Miss Martin one. Yep.
All right. Interesting, guys. You can check it all out. Some stretch goals there. You can check it all out. The links are in the description or in the chat. You can also watch the trailer if you like. You have 34 backers. It didn't go up through doing the stream. Too bad. But guys, please share it out. Talk about this campaign. Share it with other people on social media. It looks nice, and you just started, Brandon. So you will definitely make your goal very soon. And then you have some more streams planned, some more shows to go on.
Yeah, 100%. Off the top of my head, it's hard to say, but we definitely are booked for all of September here. You'll probably see me around very often. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, we're pretty busy here for September. You'll see my face a lot.
All right. All right. Before we round this off, guys, I want to show you something that I'm doing right now. I have a little bit. I make comics sometimes, so here we have something going on. Perfect 10, Book 5, POWERTRIP, Book 2. So these are 2 new books, and we do them together in one campaign to make it easier for everyone. So if you like superhero. Classic superhero stuff, so colorful, action-packed, really cool art. I'm working with Paul Rodriguez. He also worked for Marvel, for DC, and now for some reason he's working with me. Completely crazy. This is the 5th book that we're making in the Perfect 10 series, and things are going nuts, guys. It's really, really cool. I'm so proud of this series. So you can get this, plus you can get the new book, POWERTRIP Book 2, which is a anthology book with 3 shorter stories made by different creative team, and all these stories take place in the Jamin Comics universe. So it's all a shared universe with different like characters doing their own thing. We have the Flying Dutchman, and which I wrote, and Pau drew it, and then we have the Phenomenals, really, really cool stuff. And if you want a original art piece from Pau, you can commission him for a character. Can be a Jamieverse character, can be mainstream, can be your own, whatever you want, and you will get all new books, all signed, also along with it. And we have some extra stuff. And if you help us get to 10K, then everyone gets this triple print collection by Pau Rodriguez and Daniel Rodriguez. So 3 prints, they will be added to your shipment. And if you back digitally, you will get a digital file, 1 file you can print out as a poster or whatever you want, right? So stop this screen. And then lastly, guys, because we also have an extension of this campaign on Font My Comic, we have a cover C of Perfect 10. And this is this cover. It's drawn by the legendary Allan Goldman. Check this out, guys. This is pure 90s style. I love this so much. And you can only get this on Font My Comic, because I want to support Font My Comic also. It's a site by indie creators for indie creators, right? So you can only get it here. So the print run will be very, very limited. You back it here, and then you can never get it again for at least for the price you get it here. For the rest, the book is the same. All right, stop the screen. Brandon, thank you very much for being my guest today and for showing us your wonderful campaign.
Thank you.
All the best with it.
Thank you.
All the best with it, man. But you'll make it.
I love to see all your stuff as well. I'll definitely check all that stuff out as well. A lot of cool stuff you're going on there. Like I said earlier too, I've been way more excited with independent comics lately than anything else right now. So I'll definitely
indies are great, man. A lot of cool ideas buzzing around.
I think you said it best earlier too. Is this is more passion? I believe there's more passion in it.
Exactly. All right. Thanks again, and a special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up today to watch us, for the interaction and for the like. So please like it. If you like this conversation, please give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, please give it a dislike. And I'm very sorry. I will be back next week, same time, same channel, new guest. So hope to see you guys then. And I will also probably before that do a unboxing video, because I have a new stack of like indie comics that I need to unpack. And so I will do that live. Right. So that's a show for today. Enjoy your Sunday, guys. Have a fantastic week and see you next time. Bye.
See ya.